this is another thing with instruments. I learned guitar for 2 years, classical guitar, because in Europe you couldn't buy an electric. I want to be Hendrix, and I was told in Europe with all structural system relevant, you have to think, and then you can buy a thing and you can play the electric guitar. And I know about 4 chords on the guitar. My friend was 2 years after I made the decision in my brain, I'm not a musician. And 2 years later, a friend of mine says, our percussionist, that was like one of those in Europe where you go in a basement and you play in the basement. And it was like they had a little bar or whatever. And they said, just, can you play? You're good in rhythm. They knew I was good in rhythm. They said, just go thing. And I popped, I was nervous, did 2 bangs, and I was full blast. I did a CD. I was invited everywhere to play. And it was just the wrong instrument because the neurodiversity left and right, chords and strumming.
Right.
But this is easier.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You found where
You need to find
your
you.
niche.
You
Yeah.
need to find you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Only you. Your thing is, whatever you do, it has to be you. You write a letter, it has to be you. You do this, you prepare a meal, it has to be you.
Right, exactly. Can't be somebody else's work or somebody.
I'm gonna look at this recipe and copy it. No, I've never used a recipe ever in my life because I couldn't read it, I couldn't understand it.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother was like that too. It's funny. She had a recipe book, but she wouldn't use it. She would just, and there's this French. It's a French dressing recipe that my grandmother would make every Thanksgiving, and it was passed down 5 generations of women. But they wouldn't pass down the recipe. They would just pass down the technique of how to make it. But it was never the same from generation to generation. It always had a little bit.
That's always
something
a
different.
saying.
Yeah.
This is always a saying. When I get my grandmother's recipe, they say, and then they said, I made it, but did it taste like Nobody says, oh, it did taste exactly like that. We had a lady here that made a salsa, a beautiful Hispanic lady. And she was literally like a queen, and she made a salsa that people were addicted, everybody. When we tried the salsa, it's totally different. It's good. It's very good, but it's not
the same. Yeah.
Not the same.
Because it has their imprint on it, right? It has,
yes, that's why I say we are 101, 8 billion 101 humans.
Right. That's why if we try to replicate it, we won't be able to.
That's why copy is so bad. The copy is really, unless you're doing something that everybody needs, like a rake or something, copying stuff is, do your own.
Yeah.
Also get engaged to do your own. I would always engage kids, try to do your own way.
Right.
Don't say, what is the right way, and then copy.
Right.
I mean, even if I go to use YouTube, I go to YouTube and look at 5 things how to change your smart plugs, and then I use the one that makes most sense to me.
Right. Exactly. There's no right or wrong. It's just how people approach it. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your insights today. This was a wonderful conversation. I know
it's usable. Usable.
Exactly. And it's timeless. And I love the timeless evergreen content.
And there's no steps. We don't tell them steps.
Exactly. So I want to encourage everyone listening. Creativity isn't extra. It's how we unlock potential. That's something that I pulled, and I thought of it the other day, and I was like, ooh, I love this because it's not an extra. It's something that unlocks our potential and keeps us.
It's our essence, a part of our essence,
Right, exactly.
Creativity, dialogue, a lot of dialogue, and adaptation. Our top 3 superpowers.
I love it. Wow. I know my listeners will get so much out of this, and they'll want to listen to it again and again because they'll get those golden nuggets all throughout. So
I
love it. Well, I